Hello and welcome, this is Roy at Ninja90, and today I will be reviewing the Gundam Universe Unicorn Gundam figure. Because why? Unicorns are super cute and this figure's really awesome, and I got some things to say about it. So, if you like unicorns and you like Gundams, why not just put the two together and just have the Unicorn Gundam? But anyway, with that said, let's get on with this review. And now, here we have the BanDai Tamashi Nation's Gundam Universe Unicorn Gundam right here before us in all of his super cool, awesome, cutesy unicorn Gundam Seed Glory, because that's the Gundam series that the Unicorn Gundam is from. Although, yeah, I never really got to watch the whole series of Gundam Seed, but I know the pilot of this Gundam is Benadryl Lynx from playing the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games, which I have on Xbox 360. And of course, this V-fin right here, on the actual, like, Unicorn Gundam from the anime, this can open and close. Like, when it closes up, it's kind of like this, like, unicorn horn piece, so that's why it's called the Unicorn Gundam. And when it's opened up, it's just like your typical Gundam V-fin. Now, I did do some paint aligning work on this one, so you're going to see that. Some of those, like, darker markings on, like, some of, like, those, you know, engraved sculpting on it. So you're going to see that, just to bring out the figure a little bit more. People usually use Gundam markers on model kits, but they work on the Gundam Universe figures as well. But anyway, getting a closer look at it. As you can see, this is the Gundam, the Unicorn Gundam. I would say kind of like, sort of like a hyper mode, but this is like when it becomes like Gundam mode. I guess, I don't know what you call it. When you would have, where you could also like sometimes have like blades, like beam weapon blades coming out of his arms. If I can get these, because these do come out, but I'll get to that later. But anyway, you do see some. He's got like these red streaks all throughout his body. They basically like glow when he goes into like hyper mode, I guess, like, because that's what this figure is in. And also his shield is detachable, so we can do that. We can actually put it on the other arm if we want to, I believe. So we can, yeah, we can do that. We can put it on any arm we want to, but I'm gonna put it back on this arm because that's the arm I had it on. But anyway, and also I would have to say, be really careful with this figure, because these V-fins right here feel very flimsy and fragile. So yeah, do be careful, because yeah, I don't trust dropping this thing. Although this is not an expensive figure at all. This is like a $25 figure that you can easily pick up like at your local Walmart. But anyway, well, if they do have them. But anyway, going over articulation with this figure. That's just a ghetto slang word for articulation, because yeah, we just like using ghetto slang sometimes around here. But anyway, your head can look up a little bit. We can look down like slightly. Although the head is like, the head articulation is prohibited by the sculpt a little bit. But anyway, we can look right. We can look left a little bit. I mean, all right. Well, I'm talking like I don't know my directions. And we can look left. No full-on 360 cranium revolvus with this one, unfortunately. The beam weapon hilts on the back of his jetpack, or whatever you call this, these are also articulated, so you can move those back like that, and then back up, and you can kind of rock them side to side a little bit. But I would definitely advise being careful with them. That one does feel a little loose, but it's okay. We do have a butterfly joint in the shoulders, so we can, yeah, I just knocked it off. We can move those shoulders back like so, and then forward again. Let's put this back on him, because I might knocks it off by accident. So, alrighty, what you do to put this back on, you see this little T-peg right here? Yeah, I think you have to put this on out of the box anyway. And so, yeah, you just put it in like that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we do have a butterfly joint in the shoulders. Moving forward like so. We also have a full 360 swivel in the shoulders, so we can swivel those shoulders all the way back a full 360 like so. You can bring his arms up in a T-pose. So let me take the shield off like so. Bring them back down. These do have a really good articulation for $20 figures though. And we do have a bicep swivel, so swivel those biceps all the way around like so. We have just a single joint hinge in those elbows, so I can bend those elbows that much and then back down again. His shoulder armor is also articulated, and I think it also pops off. Yes, we could pop that right back on. We do have a ball joint in the wrist, so we can rock those wrists forward and back like so, and swivel all the way around. Same is true with the other hand. Rock those wrists forward and back, and swivel all the way around. The hands are also interchangeable, so I'll get to that when I get to accessories. Waist articulation, we do have an ab crunch, so we can bend him back about that much, and then bend him forward again. We can rock side to side like a little bit, not a whole lot, because the articulation is a bit hindered by the sculpt, and no, we can't turn him around a full 360 because of the sculpt. We also do have some articulation in the skirt armor, so we can bring the skirt armor up like so, and it does tend to pop off, so just be careful with that, so we can articulate that. And yeah, and his booty armor sometimes falls off, so yeah, about that. We need to cover up that bottom, so yeah, his butt is exposed. We need to cover it up, so yeah, there we go. But anyway, we do have a good articulation in the legs as well, so we do have really good ball joints in the hips, so we can kick up about that much and then back down. Same is true with the other leg, and back down. We can kick forward about this much, back down, back about that much, and then forward again. Same is true with the other leg, as you can see, and back down. We do have a hip swivel, so we can swivel those hips all the way around a full 360, like so, both legs. We do have the side skirt armor's coming off, but I'll get to that later. A double joint in the, not a single joint in the knee, but we can still bend the knee back about that much. And my side skirt armor just fell off. You could also see he has some jet packs in the back of his calves there. Look at that, really nice. And also we do have some really good ankle articulation in those feet, so we can point those toesy woesies down like so. Even though Gundams only have feet and not toes, but anyway, we'll just pretend he has toes that he doesn't actually have. But anyway, we can bring his feet up like so. And I believe, yeah, we can rotate a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty little prohibited by that ankle armor. So I would just be careful with that, because this one does have like ankle guards that can also articulate a little bit with the ankles, as you can see. But yeah, these feel like they can break real easily. So yeah, I would be careful with that. Obviously, these figures are not for small children. So about that, when you do find them in your local Walmart, you will find them in the entertainment section, not the toys section. Although these are still toys, but toys for adult collectors nonetheless. Or like if you're like an older teen that knows better than to like eat things that are not edible, then yeah, I would say you're good. But anyway, far as accessories with this figure, of course, we do get the Unicorn Gundam shield, of course, with this piece that's detachable. So to attach it to his arm out of the box, you do take this piece right here, and you just clip that right on, and yeah, I gotta put it the right way. You turn it this way, you see these longer clips right there sticking out, and you see this little rectangular peg right there, or like square peg sticking out, and you just plug it onto his arm right there. And of course, we do have interchangeable gripping hands like so. So I'm about to change these out anyway. You do get a right and a left. These are gripping hands. Just one is a regular gripping hand, and the other one's kind of like a trigger finger gripping hand. But anyway, what you do is you just take the wrist and just pop those hands right on out, and just pop the other one right on. I'll probably just leave them with the gripping hands. And oops, sorry about that. I just hit my camera with my arm, so I do apologize. So probably easier to get that hand on without that shield being on there anyway. So anyway, I got his grippy hands on. So anyway, going to put his Unicorn Gundam gun in. So if I can get it in his hand like so. Of course, this is his trigger finger hand, so it's obviously where the gun is going to go. I wonder if I could plug his beam weapon to his gun and kind of like have this. Ah, what do you know? Look, it works. We can use the beam weapon as like a firing effect part. Look at that. I never thought of that till now. That is like cool. So yeah, take that out. And of course, we do have his beam weapons, which can come out of his. Okay, these can come out, but they just don't want to cooperate right now. So I'm gonna just use the ones that he has stored on his jetpack. So anyway, let's take this gun out for now. And we are going to put these beam weapon hilts. Yeah, these are called beam weapons in Gundam because they can't call them lightsabers. Well, because you know, copyright infringement. But anyway, put these beam weapon hilts in his arms. I mean, in his hands, not his arms. Because he does have beam weapon hilts in his arms too. So anyway, grab the beam weapon blades. Boy, just slid it down. So trying to ouch. I think it'd most likely be easier to put the beam weapon blades in the hilts before putting them in the hands, but anyway, it is what it is. So He is with his beam weapons, or his beam sabers, or his beam swords, his not lightsaber weapons. Well, yeah. There we go. Looking really cool. Let's put his shield on with that. If I can get it. Oh boy, give me a second. There we go. So yeah, got his shield on with that, so looking really nice. Not gonna lie, this is a really cool figure. These are not expensive at all. You can get these at your local Walmart. They are also available on BigBadToyStore.com. You can also find them on eBay. So I mean, I think like Gundam Universe figures. There's I don't think there's like any bootlegs out there. Although, like, I still don't know. So I would say buying these from like third-party sellers on eBay compared to like NECA stuff is like pretty safe. So you should be good. I think these are also sold on Amazon. I'm more than sure they are. A lot of things are sold on Amazon, so I would assume these are. I mean, Tamashi Nations has their own Amazon store, and these are like from Tamashi Nation, so it's a given. These are most likely are. I mean, these most likely are sold on Amazon. But anyway, yeah, there we have it. This is the Gundam Universe Unicorn Gundam figure, and I think he's really cool, and I really like this figure. If I had to give this figure a score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give this figure, a drum roll please, a well-deserved, to be honest, I would have to give this figure a 9 out of 10, which is not bad. I'm only taking 1 point off because I do have one little pet peeve with this figure. Is I feel like it should have had swappable heads, because the head can come off. Because I feel like they should have had like a swappable head that had the closed V-fin as well as the open V-fin. So I think that's kind of a missed opportunity there for BanDai Namco and Tamashi Nations. But it is what it is. But regardless of that, I still think this is a really cool, really awesome, well-recommended figure, and 9 out of 10 score. Isn't the top tier best score, but it's still pretty good for what it is. Still a good figure to have. Highly recommend it if you're a Gundam fan, especially a Gundam Seed fan. I would definitely go pick this one up if you could find them. Got mine for like $25, so not bad. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for this review. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your time. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to wrap it all up, stay safe, take care, God bless, stay positive, stay powered up, and peace out.